All right, for this one, there's lots of ways we could do this. At the end of the day, we could just graph it in Desmos, but I like to do stuff by hand sometimes. So let's think in terms of x and y. And then we'll call this f of x. So if I plug in 0 for x, remember that the function, well, let me write it this way. It might be better if I write it this way. This is y, and let's write x squared plus 6x plus 13. So if I plug in 0 for x, wherever there's an x, I'll plug in a 0 in parentheses. So that's 0 squared plus 6 times 0 plus 13. What's that equal when you do the math on that? 13. So there's a point that exists on the graph, 0, 13. Let's plug in a 1. When I plug in a 1, I get 1 squared plus 6 times 1 plus 13. Well, 6 times 1 is 6. 1 squared is 1. 1 plus 6 plus 13 is 20, right? So these numbers are way too big. They don't fit on my graph. Let's try plugging in negative, like a -1. So let's do -1. Let's see what we get. So that becomes -1 squared plus 6 times -1 plus 13. Well, what's -1 squared? +1. What's 6 times -1? -6. So we've got 14 minus 6, which is 8. So when when x equals -1, y equals 8. So is there any of these that looks like it might work? Well, that seems to be on the line, doesn't it? -1, 8. It looks like at -2 it should be 5, right? So let's try it. Say -2, do the math, -2 squared plus 6 times -2 plus 13. Well, 6 times -2 is -12, and -2 squared is 4. 4 minus 12 is -8 plus 15. Hey, that's 5. -2, 5. So I think it's D. How can I double check? Plug it into Desmos, right? Let's see. So that was just x squared plus 6x plus 13. And then I gotta do this kind of thing, right? And maybe I change the color to blue. So it kind of looks like that. So what did we say it was when x was -1? It was 8. That's not letting me do it. That's okay. -3, 4. So it kind of looks like this, right? I always do that when I'm doing these notes for some stupid reason. Yeah, that looks right. Because see right here, this point right here is -1 comma 8. Then at -2, it's at 5, -2 comma 5. And then right here at -3, it equals 4. Same thing here. -3 comma 4. Okay, so that's right. What question was that one though? 25? Yeah.